begin asymptomatic testing.
Several student organizations at FGCU, Oregon,
and we're gonna play Guess the Song.
Hello, welcome to Hanging with the Executives here at the Bauer School of Music.
And you're watching ENTV.
Hi guys, and welcome back to week 5 of Hard Hitters. I can't believe it's already been 5 weeks. The season is going by extremely fast. But without further ado, I'm your host, Sarah Mankiewicz, and I'm joined with
Ian Lynch,
Nick Aslin,
and Tyler Watkins.
And we had a very standout game this past week. Usually we go over a few, but I think this one we're going to have a lot to talk about. It was a very sad game for me. It was the Buccaneers versus the Patriots game. My prediction was right. I predicted the Bucs to win, so at least that was going for me.
Yeah, I think the weather had a big impact on this game. There were points where both quarterbacks were struggling to throw the ball and receivers were struggling to catch the ball. And when the Patriots tried to make that 56-yard field goal to go for the win, the weather was almost the worst conditions it had been all night. So I feel like that had an impact on the kick.
Definitely. And Tyler, you thought this was going to be a blowout game, if I remember last week. So how's that looking for you?
Yeah, we're just going to forget about that all
Was
together.
it at least a 3-point scoring game, you said?
Yeah, I said at least 3 scores, But, the weather had something else to say about that. Brady didn't look as sharp.
I thought Brady was going to come out a lot sharper than he did.
Too.
But like you guys mentioned, the weather wasn't the best, so that might have had the impact on him. But he did enough to get the win, and I guess that's all that matters in his book.
But without further ado, we've got our upcoming game predictions for this week. We've got the Rams versus the Seahawks. And so I think the Rams have looked amazing. Phenomenally offensively.
I do think it's going to be close, though, because Russell Wilson has been putting up crazy numbers this year. He's trying to get that MVP again. So it's definitely going to be a fun game to watch. But I do think the Rams are going to outplay the Seahawks.
I got the Rams, but let Russ cook. Go ahead and let him.
And then we've got the Buccaneers playing your team this week, Ian, against the Dolphins. And so I have the Buccaneers, obviously.
I still think my Dolphins are rebuilding, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, another rebuilding year.
But, yeah, so I have the Bucs.
This week, hammer it down for 3 scores at least for the Bucs. I promise you that.
And we've got the Jets versus the Falcons.
In the words of Jake, I'm taking the Jets.
Really?
You look at the Falcons, and the trend the last few years is it's a team that gets off to hot early starts but can't finish it. In fact, last time they played in London, which is where this Sunday's game is going to be, they had a 21-point lead against the Lions, and they blew that lead.
Look, the Jets got their fluke win out of the way for the season.
Thank
I'm
you,
going
Tyler.
with the Falcons. On paper, the Falcons should be up there as one of the top offenses in the league. But, for some reason, they just never are able to put it together, even when they had Julio Jones.
Yeah, and then, Nick, we've got your game of the week. We've got the Packers playing against the Bengals, so I'll let you take this.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a great game, but I am going to go with my team here. I'm going to pick the Packers.
Both teams are 3-1, but this is one of those instances where you need to look at the strength of the schedule. The Packers have had a much harder schedule up to this point than the Bengals. So I think this is Joe Burrow's first real test of the season.
But next we got the Lions versus the Vikings. I think this is going to be a pretty close game. But I don't really see either team doing fantastically, but I'm going to say the Lions.
I'm going to take the Vikings. They played okay this past week. They didn't put up big numbers, but their offense has been pretty decent this season, and the Lions, they really struggled against the Bears this past week on the road, and I believe this game is in Minnesota, so they're on the road again this week. I don't think they're going to take this one. I got the Vikings.
And we've got the Broncos versus the Steelers. Ian, what do you think about this game?
I have the Steelers, but that is pending on if Bridgewater plays for the Broncos. He had that concussion this past weekend. And honestly, both teams are starting quarterbacks that they probably would rather not be. I still have the Steelers just because I do think they're going to play better.
Yeah, I have the Broncos either way if Teddy
Tyler.
Bridgewater doesn't start or not. I would rather have, at this point, I know this is crazy to say, but Drew Lock over Ben Roethlisberger. I'm sorry, the Steelers are falling apart just like Big Ben is right now. So.
And we've got Saints versus Washington. Nick, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Washington football team on this one. I think they played a great game this past week against the Falcons. They had the 30-yard game-winning touchdown. The Saints, they haven't been all what we thought they were going to be after week 1. So,
Dang. Okay. I have the Saints, believe it or not. Like you mentioned, Jameis throughout his career has fluctuated a lot.
That's a nice way.
He'll come out like he did week 1, be dominant, and then the following game's not so hot. So I'm hoping the dominant Jameis shows up this week. That way I can be right against you guys. So I'm taking the Saints.
Okay. Then we've got the Eagles versus the Panthers. I've got the Panthers. I think the Eagles just don't have it this season again. We've seen them play not so great games this past season, and so I'm going with the Panthers.
I'm going to take the Eagles. I was very conflicted on this one. You know, the Eagles, they didn't play all that bad of a game against the Chiefs, considering the Chiefs. They'll come through on this one. The Panthers, last week was a test for them against the Cowboys. So I think the Eagles are going to win this.
And then we've got the Titans versus the Jags. Could this be one of the Jags' only wins? Thoughts?
No. Urban made it very clear with what's been going on in the past week that, you know, there's a lot more going on off the field than on the field for the Jags. But I'm going to go ahead and take the opposition on this one. The Jags will not take this one against the Titans.
I agree. I take the Titans as well.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to take the Jaguars. You know, their game last week against the Bengals, they led the entire game.
My favorite game of the week, the Patriots versus the Texans. I have the Patriots. I dare someone to disagree with me.
I won't this time.
Thank you.
I'm going with the Patriots in this one.
Well, we got the Bears versus the Raiders. I've got the Raiders on this. I know I've picked the Raiders before, and we saw that did not work well with the Chargers, but it's the Bears. So I'm going to go with the Raiders.
Yeah, I have the Raiders as well. They're still trying to figure out their whole quarterback situation, and because of that, I have the Raiders simply.
Definitely. We've got the Browns versus the Chargers. I think this is going to be a pretty close game, actually. I mean, we saw the Chargers did pretty well, but honestly, I'm going to go with the Browns.
Yeah, I think this is going to be close. I think the Browns are going to take it, though. I agree.
I'm going to have to disagree with you both. I mean,
Yes.
I'm going to go with the Chargers. Justin Herbert is just looking like a pro-style quarterback right now. You know, the doubts coming out of college, you know, is he going to be a buzz or not? And I say so far, he's definitely not going to be a buzz. He's going to be the quarterback for the future for the Chargers. I got the Chargers on this one.
Definitely. And then, Ian, for you, we have the Giants versus the Cowboys. We obviously don't have Jake here with his Giants bias, but what do you think about this game?
I'm taking the Cowboys. Prescott has just been playing lights out, coming back from his injury last season. He showed how much of an impact he really has on this team, and they're actually right now Super Bowl contenders, I think. So
Okay.
I have the Cowboys.
I wouldn't go that far, but I also have the Cowboys.
That's a bit of an overreaction.
I have the Cowboys, but not that far. All right. Well, Nick, what do you think about the 49ers versus the Cardinals game?
I'm excited for this one. It's going to be another great game for the Cardinals. You know, they're looked at the team now as the only undefeated team left. Can they hold up those expectations that people are holding them to now that they're the only team that hasn't lost a game?
Definitely.
Yeah, I have the Cardinals as well. They're just one of the most effective offenses so far in the league this season. So you have that, and then the quarterback issues over for the 49ers. It's a recipe for a Cardinals win. So
Definitely. And we got the Bills versus the Chiefs. I've got the Bills on this. I don't think that Patrick Mahomes and the great Chiefs are looking as great this season. And I mean, we saw the Bills have 2 blowout games so far. So sorry, Ian.
I definitely see these two teams seeing each other later down in the road in the playoffs, and I'm rooting for the Bills, but I kind of feel like the Chiefs are going to take this one. I can't bet against Patrick Mahomes.
But last but not least, we've got Monday Night Football. We've got the Colts versus the Ravens. Tyler, what do you think about this?
I think I got the Ravens on this one, even though the Colts, you know, they got a big win against the Dolphins. Sorry, Ian. But you know, they got their first win, but I really think that Lamar and the offense has been clicking.
yeah, I have the Ravens as well. Like you guys have mentioned, Lamar has just been on fire this season. And when there's that much faith between the quarterback and the head coach to get things done, which they've been able to prove that they can, it's just a recipe for success. So I have the Ravens this week.
Definitely. Thank you guys so much for watching Hard Hitters. It looks like we're just about to beat the rain this time, possibly.
Thank you.
So please tune in next week, and also thank you for watching.